Hey guys, so back on here, gonna do a little unmolding. My daughter's actually gonna do the unmolding. So she's gonna show us, we're gonna start with the coasters. And we'll have some cleanup with the edges, which is fine. But look at this. That's the back side. And then let's see the front. Look how pretty. So pretty. That bloomed so nicely. Our glitter really didn't come through. I probably put that in a little too late. So that was kind of a oopsie, but I love the colors that did. So we'll have a little bit of cleanup with these edges. This is, let's see, it's been about 10 hours. My daughter's so anxious to get these unmolded. So you can kind of with your finger pop some of the little bits off, but we'll clean that up and everything and it will look great. All right, let's see what the other one did. And so basically just popping all that out of there and then woo, bring it down just a smidge. There you go. Sometimes you get like the blinding of the lights there, sorry, because you know, reflective. It's the curse of the prettiness. This one we got a little bit of the glitter pop through there, but again we've got this beautiful bloom. This is the Interface Mica pink that we're seeing on the very edge over here, that bright pink, which is really cool because it really helps give that definition of that bloom. All right. So let's look at these. These ones cured a little funky. We got more yellow on one side and more of the dark on the other. We just didn't have a lot of room. So it's kind of an ombre. But it did really good. And we're going to have to, yes, as my daughter says, like these are going to have to be done. Honestly, once we get done unmolding, I'll show you guys. I'm just going to use some scissors to get most of that out while it's still somewhat pliable. So yellow is always hard, but wow, you can see a little bit of the glitter in there, but not a ton. We definitely can see where the darker side is and the lighter side from the front, but it's not a big difference. So looks really good. Okay, next one. And these are a little bit still, could be bendy. They're not bad, but they're a little bendy. Look at that one. So they definitely need to sit and cure up a little bit longer, for sure. This one definitely was the one that was moving on us because we can see how this bloomed here. It just was really shifty, but still looks gorgeous. Definitely have that interface gold popping through here, which is really pretty. This one, I probably could have, well, I guess because that's on yellow. I'm like looking at it. I could have left it without the black, but I think the black does help give it that color. Alright, so now we'll do these earrings. These are going to be sort of stuck together-ish, the way these are done. And they're going to pop out. And they're not fully done curing, so they definitely are gonna need to be left and let these like sit, just because it's so thin. It needs to sit and flatten. But yeah. And she said these ones would be really great for her teacher. But we did end up with a really big bubble on this one. We'll have to do some fancy working on it. I'm trying not to rip the outside earring, but also get it apart, which I knew I was going to have some of that happening. Alright, so lay them flat. But these came out really cute and pretty. Okay, now these ones are always a little challenging to get started, but once we get it started, and she's going to be very careful because this edge is super, super sharp. So you want to be careful because it could cut you just like a knife or a blade could. Just like, it's almost, could be like a paper cut, but resin cut, and that's just not so fun. You want me to help get that one going? Okay. she says. She's getting glitterified from the mica that's on the edge of it. Yeah, that one's trying to rip too. There we go. Get it? There we go. Look at that. That is absolutely stunning. I want to show a few things on this so that you guys can see. So right here on this petal, we have the clear, but then the yellow comes down and makes it look like it's blooming. And so it really helps give that definition of blooming. You got some different layers, as you can tell, because we poured in different realms, or the mica and the alcohol ink. So it really gives that definition look. The inside is gorgeous. You don't really notice the underside. We're going to clean this edge up. Maybe put a real thin layer over top of it. But ultimately, that is stunning. Alright. Want me to start this one? No, she says, let me try. Let me see if I can do it, right? It takes a little bit. You could always throw in a little rubbing alcohol too. I know some people do like a resin mold release, but I've never had to. I've always been able to get them. It's just getting it started and getting over this first little hump, and you can turn your mold inside out. That's the advantage of it. You just got to go out of a way that you don't rip your mold. And then turn your mold right side out or right side in. Look at this one. Whew! Stunning. I love the colors, and it matches really well with our coasters. Like, look at this. So beautiful. Goes right along with it. Same thing with the yellows. Also, one thing to note, I wouldn't, because these are still curing, I wouldn't stack them for long because they're going to get stuck to each other. So I will leave them flat in this space. But yeah, this has some really pretty white lining. It's again got that clear in some of our petals, but does pop up. We had one little air bubble right there. I'll probably throw a little bit of UV resin on that just to clean it up so that it's not sharp, but nobody's going to probably notice. Okay, we've got a couple pocket hugs that are done, 2 of them. The other 2 are not done. They're not pocket hugs, worry stone resin. Look at that, so pretty. And that's just fun. That was just a fun like little dump pour, but look at that. It's so kind of has like a swirl, so it makes you want to do that. Yeah, oh, that's cool. A little cleanup to be done, but not bad. And there's a heart one. So that one's fun too. Sweet. Alright, so these 2 will wait till we have a little bit more resin to top them off. And then she's got some earrings that we're going to do. And I forgot we had these 2 too, so we'll get them. The star. Another star. Nothing super exciting. They've got like a texture here, so we might add like a little colorant to it or something. We'll see. We'll see how we end up finishing those ones off. It'll just vary. Same thing, these have a texture on one part of them. The bottom part is textured and the top is really smooth. They're just fun. Again, it was just using our extra resin, so it wasn't like anything crazy. These ones are, I tried to separate them with the color, which I really like how that comes out. That's fun. And then going on to some of the pink ones. Oh yeah, we'll have to get all that off of there. Yep, some of it just comes right on off. And it's paper thin like that. Those are cute. I like those. Oh, these are fun. These remind me of like a Jolly Rancher. Do not eat these. But they remind me of like a little Jolly Rancher. They're so pretty and iridescent. And we ended up with a lot of bonus pieces just because of the extra resin we had, which is fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, so it's got two corners textured and one not. This one, we lost our whole area somewhat, but we'll be able to add it and create to where we can still work with it. It'll be all good. These ones were pieced together. Oh, those are fun. Those are like, oh, this one had a big old bubble in it. Okay, yeah. That would be fun to clean up and fix, but again, we'll do it. It's fine. And then these ones. Oh yeah, those are fun. Again, we had some air bubbles. That partly just because we were working with the thickened resin. It just happens. So, not the end of the world. It's all good. Let's just bringing some of these up for y'all to see a little closer. They're not all gonna fit. There you go. I'm doing it. All right. So those are fun. And then we have two more small pieces that weren't over here, but were done at the pour before this, so we can actually unmold them. This is just a little heart keychain. So we're gonna pop it out. It has a little heart within a heart. So that will get popped out of there. But like, it's a heart and it's pretty. I'll pop it out with a tool and that will be fine. And then we have, this is like a little geode piece. Just a fun, creative piece that you'd probably put within another piece, you know, just to give you some definition and depth. But pretty cool little piece. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup while we can. Just because while some of this is still semi-workable, I'm going to use my scissors to help get some of these sharp edges off. And it's just, when it's real thin, you can just take your scissors and kind of just do a little cut. And it's fine. So, that's fun. Let's move these molds out of here. Oh my goodness. One of my children just screamed. So, you know, don't mind. Alright, so, let's see. With these, truthfully, it's just my fingernail does the job really well. I like those. Those are fun. Super fun. Yeah. These yellow ones came out really good. The pink were a little bit more of a struggle, but we'll get them. It's all good. If your hole got like sealed up a little bit, it's okay because we can use a little drill and drill that out. It's not a big deal. So, little drill bit and we'll dig it right on out. This one, definitely a little bit thicker. Can't just peel with my finger, but I can definitely with scissors get it cleaned up. You could also take a Dremel and do a lot of this work too, which ultimately we might have to take on the inside here, potentially, just because it is a little difficult to get inside. Or we might end up creating, I don't know, might end up creating like a earring within an earring, and like put this down and put another color in the center. That might be kind of cute, and then that would hide that blemish essentially. That might be what we do. I might do that. Sometimes when you have these things, you got to get a little creative, and then they turn out to be a happy accident. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and pop out the part that I can at least, just so that it's there. But yeah, I think we'll do a little fill in with a color on that. It looks really messy just because of all the pieces that are flying, but it's all good. I went a little too much on that, but it worked out. We're good. I could tell the resisting of that, but I got it. there's something a little bit satisfying of cleaning off the resin that is excess. I don't know why. It just is a little satisfying. Go around. Could also take our little deburring tool, and that would like get that little bit right there really off, so that you wouldn't have that. And go in just around this one. These ones are cute. On these ones, I might put like a darker coat behind them just to help for you to see the white part. It would be kind of pretty. I don't know. Same thing with these ones. We'll probably put an actual darker center or something, or like a pop of glitter. So I'm not even worried about popping that middle out because it's going to be hard to get in there. I'm just going to leave that as our bottom piece. It's going to be on the back side anyway. So yeah, and that will be with just some UV resin. Like, we're not going to do a full-on one-to-one resin pour for these. So I like doing earrings when we have excess resin. Using that resin is nice, but I'm not going to pour one-to-one just to do the centers. I'm going to use and clean up our holes and things of that nature. I'm going to actually do a UV resin. I think I'm going to fill this heart with some red, and then we'll put a keychain on this side. I think that's going to be cute. Okay, let's see about these. Let's see if I can trim these while they're still pliable. Still kind of like, they're not sticky, but they're not hard either. They feel more like a silicone kind of texture, or gummy texture is what I would say. So like they could bend. So definitely got to keep them flat. This one ended up with a hole, of course, right at the edge. So that will be fun to somewhat fix. And up here with our hole spot, we ended up with a big old bubble. Like that technically is our hole. No, that is our hole, and that's where we ended up with a bubble. So we'll have to do some finagling there to make that stronger, shall we say. These are still very spongy like, so I am going to really just leave them there and alone. I should just get my deburring tool out. Let's do that so I don't stab myself. Just take that off. Nice. Nice, nice. Nice, nice. Okay. Perfect. All right. So, want to get these while they're still, again, a smidge easier. When it's like this, it's easier to get cleaned up because they're not fully solid yet. Once they're hardened all the way, it can be a smidge trickier to get the pieces off. So I like to, if I haven't let it completely harden in the mold, I like to go ahead and get those off of there. If I let it completely harden the mold, like if it was up to me, I probably would not have unmolded tonight, but my daughter was just like, I gotta see what they look like, Mom. I gotta see. Like, okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This bloomed very beautifully, in my opinion. I love how it bloomed. Gorgeous. When you're doing one of these, you just gotta be careful that you don't bump this part of it when you're deburring, because that's harder to hide. Whereas I know that I'm scratching it up here, but we're going to put a thin layer of UV resin on it, so I'm not overly concerned about that part, because we're going to hide that imperfection. Wow, that's so cute. I love how that turned out. I'm not a super huge yellow fan, but I'm not going to lie. I wasn't paying attention, and I realized I was probably putting some pressure on that. I really like how this photo turned out. I think it turned out beautifully. Just with all the way it yellowed, and here with the white, there's a little bit of white in the petals. There was like something in the resin. But, wow. Stunning. Okay. Keep focus. Focus. Like, going round and round we go. There we go. Yeah, that's about all this one needed. Wasn't much. Whew. The bloom, y'all, is just, and the light, the way it reflects and like changes color is so amazing. I love micas for that reason. And then you add the interface micas. Not interface. Interference. I always do that. Interference micas definitely do that too. These ones are a lot harder to get. And I'm going to have to use my scissors to cut this because it's just too thick with the deburring tool. So try to go along the pattern. And basically we ended up in our center here. So I'm just trying to get that center out, especially because this center had the writing of the mold on it, and I don't really want that. And it's just moving a lot. I want to be careful that I'm not chipping up here at the top too. That one kind of just peeled. If I keep going. Slowly we're getting there. That went flying. These petals have like just a smidge of a curve right here too. I probably should have paid attention and wiped up some of this to not have such an issue, but you know, live and we learn. Alright, we got two more that are pretty rough. I might try to get my X-Acto knife. That's what might end up happening with those. But I'm going to need to clear this table off and put a protector down. at least got it somewhat. I feel like it's better than it was, which is good. Okay. And we'll get my X-Acto knife out here in just a minute. And we'll try that as well, just to, you know, finish doing that. Sometimes just using, you know, a little force with it, or like the metal part of these, you can sometimes get in there and just break that up enough to get it off. Oh, I just smacked myself in the face with resin. Cool, cool. Like, but see, like, this is so thick. Trying to get in there with that is just not working. So that's where scissors have to kind of come into play, and probably with my X-Acto knife get a little bit more out even. I like the deburring tool. It does take a smidge practice just to get accustomed to it, but once you get the hang of it, it's a pretty useful tool. Especially on just like little trims, it's not bad. Alright. Alrighty, so I'm going to make some space. I'm going to just move this tray out of our way so that I can get a piece of cardboard down. It's usually where I keep it, but it's not. Oh, it's on the other side. I was like, where'd my cardboard piece? This is what I drill into and everything, so I'm not like super concerned about it. So I can use an X-Acto knife and not worry about stabbing my silicone mat and ruining it. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. I just bumped y'all, sorry. Let's see if I can get in there just a little bit more. Bear with me. Oh, do I have a kitty cat in here? We adopted a new kitty a little over a week ago. And she's still learning about getting around the house, and we haven't let her out a ton. I think my daughter left her door open to let her do some roaming, which is good. I want her to. But I don't know if she's just at the gate or if she's in this room. And this room's a crazy mess, so I don't know. Oh, there she is. Hi there, Pebbles. Meow. Did you come find my voice? Did you? Yeah. Well, hi. I know, I'm crafting. I know, it's good to see you out. We've kept her, you know, separated just for that adjustment period. And it has been an adjustment for sure for her. Apparently she came from a hoarding situation, and so she was like one of 40 cats, which is, yeah, one of 40 cats, which is crazy. And she's coming to a household with she's the fourth. And of course, we hadn't introduced a new cat in many years, and we hadn't introduced a new animal in about 3.5 years, almost 4 years. So it was one of those things. We wanted to keep her kind of separate, let them smell one another from underneath the door and get slow exposure. But they've been doing a lot better, so I think it's about time for her to join the whole crew and get more freedom. It was good to see her out though, because I got her this cat bed, and typical cat, she liked the box better than the bed. I don't think she slept once in the bed, but she loves the Amazon box that it came in. So yeah, that's usually where you'll find her, in my daughter's room, in the Amazon box. I'm like, oh goodness. What, baby? Oh, you're up on my puzzle table. Yep. All right. 2, 3, 4. We got one more here, y'all. This has been a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Otherwise, I definitely would have made sure to like clean that up before I'd let it get solid. But, okay, we're making it work. These pliers are helping with the X-Acto knife. That went way smoother than the others had, right? Okay, I like that. I'm gonna make sure it's flat, because these ones are definitely trying to move a little bit more. They're not as thick, so they've got a lot more movement. I did it very orangey, the peach, right in one spot. That's kind of funny. Okay, so if we do like what I just did with that one, we should be able to come to the bottom with the X-Acto knife, and then come in with the pliers and mostly get that off. Mostly, you know, a smidge. And then I think with the deburring tool, okay, I got 2 more that really kind of need a little bit of help. Not bad. This one, just with the X-Acto knife, I was able to clean up what needed to. Huh, I was loosening my X-Acto knife. I was like, why is this spinning? The way I'm turning it inside there, it's getting caught and it's loosening the blade. Oh, that made me jump. Didn't hurt, just came flying at me. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Love it. Alright, so not bad. Again, I'm going to really make sure that these get laid out flat so that they're not going to go anywhere, essentially. And then let them finish curing a good probably 12 to 24 hours before we would get them like packaged up, essentially, or do the next stage, actually, because I probably want to do edging on them, is my guess, is how I want to do it. Haven't fully thought that through yet, so I'll think about that overnight. And we'll more than likely do some sort of etching for sure on the geodes. Oh yeah, gotta separate those because they're gonna stick together otherwise. And then I'm just cleaning some of these shavings up, throw them in the garbage, wipe off my arm, pressing those down nice and flat. Just trying to think if I had some things that I could weight wise. So that's just like a charcoal odor eliminator. It's about out. This one's full. Just to give these just a smidge of weight on them. It's not anything crazy heavy, but definitely gives some weight on them. I'll put my mini heat press on this one. It's not on, of course, so it won't do any damage to it. Perfect. That'll give them some weight to have those sit on. And then, of course, our tray is fine over here because it's flat enough. This is giving me anxiety, all these pieces, but I'm just gonna have to live with it. It's fine. It's fine. These are pretty flat too. I'm gonna actually put them over here. Oh, can you guys maybe not see that far over? Let's see. That would be perfect for them because it's not overly heavy. It's just a jar that I have some wood blanks in. We'll do that. Cool. Alright. So that's what we have for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that fun demolding and cleanup. We'll come back and do the finishing touches on the teacher gift side of things. And I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.